organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, we'll take a look at what exactly passed in Obama's tax proposal.
And later hear about a business owner and former Hawkeye returning to Iowa City.
And in sports, Iowa basketball throttled nationally ranked Indiana Sunday. All the highlights and reactions coming up.
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
From Studio 151, your television news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan, this is Daily Iowan TV.
Welcome to Daily Iowan TV. I'm Christina Targos.
And I'm Brad Maxwell. Most Iowans are in favor of a cut to property taxes. That's according to a recent poll by the Des Moines Register. In 2009, Johnson County residents paid the highest property taxes in the state. Officials here in Iowa City say lower property taxes would force them to make cuts to services, according to the Register poll. 60% of those polled were in favor of the cuts, while 28% say they don't support the cut. The proposal was popular among both parties, notching support from 70% of Republicans and 47% of Democrats.
President Barack Obama's economic recovery plan got a big boost last Friday in Congress. Daily Iowan TV's Josh Bolander tells you why.
Last Friday's meeting between the Senate and the House of Representatives appeared to be just another typical day in Washington. While it did feature the usual politicians in suits and bitterness between parties, something else was present in the room: progress. Progress that meant passing a bipartisan deal extending the payroll tax cut and unemployment benefits. A majority of House Republicans and Democrats voted in favor of the bill, which cleared the Senate in a 60-36 vote. Within the same hour, the House approved it by a 293-132 margin.
The payroll tax cut is just the start. If we want middle-class families to get ahead, we've got to deal with a set of economic challenges that existed even before this recession hit.
The passing of the bill prompted Barack Obama to end his current trip to the West Coast, board Air Force One, and travel back to Washington to sign the legislation.
To Congress for listening to the voices of the American people. It is amazing what happens when Congress focuses on doing the right thing instead of just playing politics.
The tax cut is expected to be extremely beneficial to Obama's economic recovery plan. The $100 billion payroll tax cut will not only reduce how much 160 million Americans pay Social Security, but will also provide a break worth about $83 a month to those making less than $50,000 a year. The deal will also provide new terms for states across the country with higher unemployment rates than that of the national average, including dropping the number of weeks one can receive unemployment benefits, something sure to prompt debate. Josh Bolander, Daily Iowan TV.
The president is excited to sign this bill later this week.
The president of an Iowa-based distillery will speak at the UI's Tippie College of Business this week. Scott Bush, president of Templeton Rye Spirits, graduated from the University of Iowa in 1996. Bush's great-grandfather, Frank Schroeder, started the company during the Prohibition era on his farm in west central Iowa to combat the farming drought brought on by the Dust Bowl. Bush will discuss his growth and development of his business from 11:30 to 12:30 on February 24th in the room S401 of the Papa John Business Building. Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, we'll take a look at the benefits students can get from meditating. And in sports, our first feature on former Iowa wrestler Phil Keddy's quest to qualify for the Olympics. But first, let's check in with Daily Iowan TV's Kate Constable for a look at your weather forecast. And Kate, we had a pretty nice weekend. Tell us if we can see the same for this week.
Get your umbrellas out tomorrow because we're looking at a good chance of morning showers around 9 a.m. Temps will be around 37 degrees, but might feel a bit chillier than that. The afternoon will dry up and we should see the sun with a high of 43 by lunchtime. The evening will stay free of rain, but temps will drop back down to the mid-30s with mostly cloudy skies. Taking a look at our extended forecast, you can expect a steady pattern of rain and snow the rest of this week with temps in the mid-40s on Wednesday and Thursday and cool down for the upper 30s for the rest of the week. That's your look at weather. Back to you guys.
You may want to think twice about where you get your study time caffeine. An article published in the Journal of General Internal Medicine suggested that drinking diet soda regularly can increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes. The study, which surveyed more than 2,500 people, found that older adults who drink diet soda every day are 44% more likely to suffer a heart attack. However, the lead researcher did say that diet soda alone wasn't the only factor contributing to that risk.
Would you sacrifice 40 minutes a day to improve your overall health? If so, a technique called transcendental meditation may be the answer you're looking for. I took a look at how this meditation technique is helping millions of people every day. Transcendental meditation may be a foreign term to much of our fast-paced society, but over 5 million people worldwide practice it every day. Here at the University of Iowa, students gathered at the IMU to learn a little bit more about transcendental meditation. The presentation consisted of several speakers, as well as a short video created by the famous film producer David Lynch. Transcendental meditation is described as a simple, natural, and effortless process that requires only 2 20-minute sessions per day. The technique teaches people to close their eyes and let their mind settle beyond thought and into a state of pure awareness. Linda Rainforth describes how transcendental meditation differs from other techniques.
It's unique because of its simplicity and effortlessness. No effort really means zero trying, zero manipulation. There's no forcing or straining in this technique.
While the sessions are relatively short, the list of benefits is the complete opposite. Research shows that transcendental meditation is proven to minimize strain on the body, increase focus, and boost creativity, to name just a few. It's common for college students to tense up and lose focus throughout the course of the semester, but could transcendental meditation help to minimize these issues? According to research conducted by the International Journal of Neurosciences, transcendental meditation helps to increase coherence, reduce stress levels, and even increase GPA among students. Aaliyah Cohen described how transcendental meditation helped to improve her academics.
It is such a stress reliever. It is the best way to clear your mind and focus and tap into an ocean of clarity and creativity.
So while students often spend their time stressing out for the next test, taking a 20-minute break to practice transcendental meditation may ultimately have more benefit. I'm Brad Maxwell, Daily Iowan TV. An increasing number of health officials are turning to transcendental meditation to improve students academically, but the technique is yet to catch on at many campuses.
An Iowa City woman was charged with arson after a home exploded as a result of a methamphetamine cook. Police say 26-year-old Christy Klaus fled the scene, but later admitted to being at the home on Lakeside Drive when the meth cook exploded, causing a house fire.
After strong finishes in Iowa and New Hampshire last month, Mitt Romney was seen by many as a shoo-in for the Republican presidential nomination. However, candidate Rick Santorum is now neck and neck with Mitt Romney. Daily Iowan TV's Ryan Jones breaks down the new poll in today's political update.
Thanks, Brad. Now, Rick Santorum is now the most popular GOP presidential candidate, bumping Mitt Romney out of the top spot. In a recent Gallup poll, Rick Santorum is leading Mitt Romney by 10 points nationally. 36% of Americans favor Santorum and 26% prefer Mitt Romney. Both Gingrich and Ron Paul have under 15% preference. With Santorum now leading Romney, Romney is on the attack. Romney's super PAC is flooding Michigan with negative Santorum ads for Michigan's primary on the 28th. Mitt Romney himself is taking every opportunity to bash Santorum.
Goes to Washington, calls himself a budget hawk. Then after he's been there a while, he says he's no longer a budget hawk. Well, I am a budget hawk. I don't want to spend more money than we take in.
All of the candidates are preparing for the last debate before Super Tuesday. On Wednesday, the candidates will take the stage for the first time in a month. For Newt Gingrich, he's banking on another good performance in the debate to regain some of the momentum he has lost.
And I would just observe that if you're afraid to debate me, you're not likely to do very well debating Barack Obama.
And Rick Santorum will need to prove that he can roll with the punches as the new frontrunner in this debate. Back to you guys at the desk.
And now let's take a look beyond Iowa City.
A 9-month-old child was killed after being hit by stray bullets during a shooting on a house on Detroit's west side. Police say at least 30 shots were fired with an assault rifle at around 4 o'clock Monday morning. The child was rushed to the hospitals where he was pronounced dead. No arrests have yet been made.
The Indiana State University Board of Regents has approved a measure that will allow oil and gas drilling on campus property. The drilling company has agreed to give the university 15% in royalties for allowing them to drill on campus. University officials say this will help fund campus maintenance issues. The drilling is expected to begin next year.
When I think of Indiana State, I think of Larry Bird. And speaking of college basketball, how about those Hawkeyes, knocking off 20th ranked Indiana Sunday night? Let's go to Daily Iowan TV's Nick Robertson for your Hawkeye Sports Update.
The men's basketball team returned to Carver Hawkeye Arena on Sunday after a 2-game road trip to Northwestern and Penn State. The Hawkeyes dropped both contests despite improved play down the stretch last Thursday against the Nittany Lions. But the 20th ranked Indiana Hoosiers were in Iowa City, the same Hoosiers that scored 103 points at Bloomington earlier in the season. Melson Basabi started things out strong for the Hawks in the first half. He had 2 big blocks in a row, and he was able to convert on the offensive end with the turnaround jumper. He had 9 points in the first half. And here was young Devin Marble with a sweet move with 5:40 left in the first to put the Hawks up 25-17. Hawks went into the half with a 37-26 lead. But all eyes seemed to be on Iowa City's own fortunate son, Matt Gayton, starting things off in the second half with a nice drive through the lane. He then got hot from downtown, shooting 6 of 6 from behind the arc, including 1 from about 25 feet as the shot clock hit 0. Gayton's posted a career-high 30 points in the Hawks' victory over the Hoosiers, 78-66. Coach Fran McCaffrey and fellow player Aaron White were pretty impressed with Gayton's performance.
The toughest one, Rick, is the first one. You know, that gave us a little bit of breathing room, and then he got confidence, and then we got confidence. Our defense perked up after that, and then he just kept going.
Love that kid. He really does deserve it, what's going on right now. So he's playing his best ball of the year at the best time. We're just going to ride him. So.
And while being swarmed with questions about his big game, Gayton's focused on the team's aspect instead of himself.
It's fun, a great crowd. The crowd was into it. All the guys were happy and smiling. That's what means the most to me. Is just everybody being happy. It's so many downtimes. It's a lot of fun winning.
Tune in tomorrow's show for not only more about this big one, but an update on the Big Ten race in both men and women's basketball. The Hawkeyes will take on nationally ranked the Wisconsin Badgers this Thursday in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Tip is set for 8 p.m. and admission is free for all students. And moving to wrestling, it's no secret that Iowa City has a love for wrestling. The Hawkeye program has a long-standing tradition of being the top tier in college, and this spring it will be hosted the top tier in the U.S. wrestling as it hosts the 2012 Olympic trials. Philip Keddy, a former Iowa wrestler who never won a title, has already qualified to compete for a spot to represent the U.S. at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Chelsea Burns had a chance to catch up with Keddy and find out more about his journey to fulfilling his dream.
It's one of the biggest stages in college wrestling. And pretty soon, this place will be the center of U.S. wrestling. Philip Keddy has competed at Carver Hawkeye Arena plenty of times, but nothing like this.
The biggest tournament, basically, of my life.
That tournament is the 2012 Olympic Trials in Iowa City on April 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Keddy, along with former Hawkeyes like Mike Zadek and Brett Metcalf, will represent the Hawkeye Wrestling Club in hopes of making it to the Summer Games in London.
It's going pretty good. Just this year is the first year I've been able to really train where I didn't have serious injuries.
The three-time All-American is working back from a groin injury that kept him from training for a few days, but nothing severe enough to keep him off the mat for long.
Every afternoon or sometimes in the mornings we go hard, hard wrestling.
Hard wrestling and hard work. The only kind of work Iowa wrestlers know. The only kind of work that will get Phil Keddy a spot on Team USA. Chelsea Byrne, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Be sure to tune in next week as Philip gives Chelsea some insight into just why they feel training with the Hawkeye Wrestling Club is the best in the country and why Carver was the final choice for this huge event.
And before we leave you tonight, check this out. A sold-out crowd of more than 4,700 were in Des Moines this weekend to enjoy the 5th annual Blue Ribbon Bacon Festival. Tickets for the event were sold out within 25 minutes after going on sale last December. This year's theme was Bacon-pocalypse, a jab at the 2012 end of the world. The event offered everything from dry-cured bacon to bacon cupcakes and brownies.
I bet those bacon cupcakes tasted pretty good.
I imagine they did.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into the print version of Tuesday's Daily Iowan.
Read about a large decrease in phone book sales and usage in Iowa City.
And learn how the UI plans to fight an increase in people diagnosed with whooping cough.
Well, that's your Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com. Thanks for watching and have a great night.